Hey guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. So, we know Van Adder is still on the stand today. We think maybe we might get to Cato today. If not, we'll get to Cato tomorrow sometime. I don't know how long this stream is going to go. This video is an hour and 27 minutes. We're not going to make it through the end of this video today. But Cato might get on the stand today. If not, he's definitely on the stand tomorrow. We're almost there. We're almost to Cato.
No, sir, that would almost be impossible. We would be doing nothing but making notes if we did that.
Well, with regard to the drawing of the blood, that is the sample drawn from the defendant, is the date and time of that occurrence memorialized somewhere, somehow?
Yes, it is.
Where?
It's memorialized on the consent form that was signed by Mr. Simpson.
Okay. And the date and time on which you gave that blood vial to the criminalist, Mr. Fung, is that memorialized somewhere?
Yes, sir, it is.
Where?
It's memorialized in Mr. Fung's notes.
Is there anything improper at all about your transporting the blood vial from Parker Center out to Rockingham to the criminalist, Mr. Fung?
Objection. Grounds. Overruled.
No, I'm one of the detectives in charge of the investigation. It's my responsibility to make sure that the evidence is collected and secured.
What was the first thing you wrote on the morning of June 13th?
I believe the first thing I wrote was my arrival time at Bundy, and then after that I began to write a statement on Cato Kalin.
Did you preserve those notes?
Yes.
And what was the next thing that you wrote?
The search warrant.
What time, if you recall, was it that you first saw the glove at Rockingham?
I believe it was approximately 6:15 to 6:30.
And what time did you begin writing the search warrant?
Between 7:45 and 8 o'clock.
And was the search warrant the second thing, or rather the third thing that you wrote that morning?
Yes.
Did you describe the glove at Rockingham in the search warrant?
Yes.
Did you describe having seen the Bronco in the search warrant?
Yes.
Did you describe having seen blood on the outside of the Bronco?
Yes.
Did you indicate that one of the detectives ran the plate on the Bronco to see who it was registered to?
Yes.
Did you indicate whether or not the glove found at Rockingham resembled the glove at Bundy?
Yes.
Does the glove at Rockingham resemble the glove at Bundy?
Appears to be a matched pair.
I'd like to mark it forward next in order. I've already shown it to defense counsel.
After that live stream, this is very slow. I'm going to cheat, guys. I have to know. There's a big spike coming up. Guess who we're going to get to today? No, Donald, I have 3 ring lights. 1, 2, 3. It's a pain. It's very bright. I hate it. I hate them. I hate them so much.
125.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Detective, I'm going to ask you to step down. Take a look at those photographs.
Looks like a match to me.
Tell us whether or not they depict the glove found at Rockingham and the one found at Bundy.
Yes, they do.
All 16 of us
Do you
here
know whether
believe
or not
that.
each of those gloves were submitted for testing?
Yes,
The glove at Bundy was submitted for testing?
yes,
Are you aware of those results?
yes.
Did you indicate in the search warrant affidavit that you observed blood droplets leading from the Bronco to the front door of Mr. Simpson's residence?
Yes,
Did you indicate that you've spoken to Arnell Simpson?
yes.
Did you indicate that you...
Darden, you can use this anymore? All right, why don't we do that, and then we'll take our recess for the morning. Two seconds. All right, thank you, gentlemen. Just a second. I'm gonna excuse the jury first.
I should say yes to that, Donald. I need a snow blower for some reason. Not for snow.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our recess for the morning session. Please remember all of my admonitions to you. Don't discuss the case amongst yourselves, form any opinions about the case, don't allow anybody to communicate with you. Do not perform any deliberations until the matter has been submitted to you. We'll reconvene promptly at 1:30. Detective Van Adder, you may step down. 1:30, sir. All right, we'll stand in recess. Thank you.
And Mr. Robertson said that needed to be on the record, so released to us for copying and then returning to the court.
All right, so stipulated by the parties. All right.
The manuals arrived.
Yes, they did. Sure. Why don't we take care of that when we conclude? All right, let's have the jurors, please. Please. Let the record reflect that we've been joined by all members of our jury panel. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Detective Philip Van Adder is on the witness stand undergoing redirect examination by Mr. Darden. Good afternoon again, Detective Van Adder.
Good afternoon, sir.
You're reminded you're still under oath. Mr. Darden, you may conclude with your redirect examination.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Make sure he's
Detective,
handsome.
During Mr. Shapiro's cross-examination, you testified that you did not expect to see any injuries on Mr. Simpson's body.
I think I testified I didn't see any on his body. Yes, other than his left hand.
Okay. Did you expect to see injuries on his body?
No.
Why not?
Well, from what I could see of his face and his arms, he didn't have any injuries other than to his left hand. He had on a short sleeve shirt. And from looking at the victims, it appeared to me that injuries received to the hands and arms of Ronald Goldman were defensive wounds, which defensive wounds are wounds where you're trying to ward something off. You're not being offensive and striking out.
You told us a little while ago.
I don't care about his money.
Can I have one moment, Sean?
Certainly.
You've seen photographs I taken of Ron Goldman that indicate cuts or abrasions near the knuckles on one of his hands,
Yes.
if not both hands. And what significance, if any, do you attach to those injuries?
The bruises on his hands?
Yeah, on Mr. Goldman's hands.
The bruises could have occurred while he was falling, while his arms were being flailed around. They could have hit the shrubbery, the trees, the metal fence. I didn't notice bruises directly over the knuckles, on top of the knuckles.
No, I would use him to answer all of our questions here. That would be his main function. Whenever we have a court question, honey, honey, get on. That's what would happen.
That would be common if he had struck a hard object with a closed fist.
Okay. And to go back to the search warrant for a moment. When you wrote the search warrant and gave it to the magistrate, did you indicate in the search warrant that you had gone to Rockingham to make a notification?
Yes.
I have one moment, Charlie.
Certainly.
Mark, that's in order.
Peoples 126 and 127.
Showing you People's 126 detective.
$30,000.
Counsel one, please. Name on it. What is shown in that photograph, detective?
That's a portion of the defendant's bedroom, showing the foot of the bed, and at the foot of the bed is a rug over the carpeting with a pair of socks there.
And 127. What's shown there?
That's a close-up of the pair of socks that were seen in the previous picture.
In
Were
my
those socks
shower.
seized?
Yes, they were.
And did you find a blood trail at all in the defendant's bedroom?
Yes.
All I have, thank you.
Mr. Shapiro?
I'm sorry.
Mr. Shapiro?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much. You have assumed that the victim, Mr. Goldman, did not hit the perpetrator of the crime. Is that correct?
I don't know that that's an assumption. There could have been a meeting of the two people, but the injuries appeared to me to be defensive injuries, and
Yeah.
defensive injuries are usually sustained by holding the arms up or trying to grab something, such as the weapon that's being used on you.
You've been investigating this case for 9 months.
Yes.
Do you have any information as to whether or not Mr. Goldman, before he died, attempted to strike his assailant?
No, I don't.
Do you have any information if he struck his assailant?
No, I don't.
Is that something you'd want to know?
I'm only going on what I can see.
Is that something you'd want to know?
Well, the only way that would be known is if I could ask the assailant or Mr. Goldman, I would think.
Is that something you would like to investigate?
It's something I would like to know, yes.
And is one way of finding that out by looking at suspects to see if they have any wounds that might be consistent with being hit in a fight.
That's one way of finding out if a person has been hit, yes.
So you have just made up your mind that these injuries to Mr. Goldman were occurred when he was falling down, haven't you?
No, not at all.
You don't have any basis for that opinion, do you, in science?
Other than seeing defensive wounds many, many times, they appeared to be defensive wounds.
And you can tell a defensive wound from an offensive wound.
Well, normally defensive wounds occur to the hands and arms, yes.
May I approach the witness for a moment, Your Honor?
You may.
I have a bruise on my hand.
We'll have Mr. Shapiro marked as,
Can I be marked as an exhibit? Can I ask him if he has an opinion as to whether this is an offensive or defensive wound?
I agree.
Do you have a? Mr. Darden, some photographs.
All right, you want to tell me? All right.
This is marked 126. We'll mark ours 1060.
1060 and 1061.
You know when photograph 126 was taken that Mr. Darden showed you, sir?
It was taken after the search warrant was secured, I would assume.
You would assume?
Yes, I wasn't there when the actual search was done.
I know, but there are logs for these things, aren't they, called photo logs?
I think the photographer does them by number. Yeah, I don't know that they're timed.
Well, wait. You're the chief investigator, are you not?
One of them, yes.
And you want to know when photographs are taken if you're not there to take them, don't you?
Well, I know they were taken on the 13th of June.
No. My question is, do you want to know when photographs are taken? You can answer that yes or no like you answer Mr. Darden's questions.
This is argumentative, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Can you answer that yes or no?
I know they were taken on the 13th.
No, my question is, is it important for you to know when photographs are taken by photographers or criminalists?
The exact time?
Yes.
No.
Is it important to know the approximate time?
I know they were taken on the 13th of June. The time itself, that's a recordation of evidence that's discovered. The time is on the photograph to me is not important.
Let me see if I can make myself more clear because I'm obviously not communicating this thought to you or this question.
Sustained. Mr.
Can you generically, not specifically, as a general principle for a lead investigator in a case, is it important for you to know when photographs are taken for which you are not present? You can answer that yes or no, can't you?
Yes.
It's important to know. And is there such a thing in your practice known as a photo log?
I think that's a recordation of the number of photos, yes.
Is there also something in your practice known as recording when photographs are taken? So somebody can refer to a picture and say, this was taken at a certain day, at a certain time, at a certain place.
I'm not aware of that.
And you've never used that in your experience?
Not time, no.
No investigators, to your knowledge, in LAPD are supposed to have photographs done in a way that they can tell when they were taken?
Well, I know when it was taken.
No, I didn't ask you when this picture, I'm not talking about this picture, okay? We're just talking about pictures in general. All right?
That's recorded by the photographer.
And does he give you a list so you can tell when the pictures are taken? That was my question.
Yes, but not to time. I'm not aware of time.
Okay, so he tells you what day they were taken, but not what time they were taken,
The date and the location, yes.
but not the time. So you don't know if
Not-
it's day or night.
Well, I think that would be evident from the photograph.
May we put these photographs up on the Elmo, please? Right. You see the photograph that Mr. Darden showed you, which is in the upper right-hand corner. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you've told us that was taken on the 13th after the execution of the search warrant. Is that correct?
That was taken on the 13th, I believe, after the execution, or when the search warrant was returned to the location, yes.
You believe, but you're not sure.
No, I'm not positive. I wasn't there, but I believe it was after the search warrant was brought back.
And you have no notes or any other type of official documents available to you to tell when that photograph was taken, do you?
Not the time, no.
Now I want you to look in the upper left-hand corner. That's a photograph that was taken by your photographer, is it not?
Yes,
When was that photograph taken?
that would have been on the 13th also.
Was that taken at the same time?
I would say that is a overall, and then the two follow photo ups were done probably at the same time. Yes, that's showing an overall of the room.
I want to direct your attention, if I might, now, to let me just direct your attention to the photograph that was shown by Mr. Darden, the upper right-hand side. Do you see the foot of the bed in that photograph?
Yes.
And do you see any straps hanging over the foot of the bed?
No.
Now I want to direct you to the other two photographs, the one in the upper left-hand side. Do you see the straps there?
It would appear it's hanging over. Yes.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Is that something that would be disturbing a crime scene?
I don't know the reason it was moved, but disturbing a crime scene. It was obviously moved for some reason. I don't know why.
Should the photographer move those?
No, he shouldn't.
Have you noticed this before?
Yes, I've seen this before.
And have you made inquiry as to why it was moved?
No, I haven't.
Why not?
I haven't.
Well, I know you haven't, but why haven't you?
I just haven't. I didn't see any need to.
I want to direct your attention now to the carpet that the socks are lying on. The carpet in the room is a little bit lighter than in the photograph, is it not?
Then which photograph? It's different shades in all the photographs, it would appear to be.
Would you describe the color of the photo of the carpet as you remember it?
I remember it as a light gray.
And did you find any blood stains on that carpet?
No,
Did you take that carpet for evidence?
no,
Did you examine that carpet for footwear impression evidence?
not to my knowledge, no.
What about the carpet in the room? What color is that?
I think that's what I described. I recall it as either a light tan or light gray.
Okay, now what about the throw carpet that the socks are on, that are on top of the carpet in the room?
That appears to be two-tone, maybe brown and light tan or something like that.
Was there any blood on that carpet?
I don't recall any being there, no.
Was that carpet seized?
No,
Was there any effort made to preserve that carpet for footwear impression evidence?
no.
The socks that were there, isn't it true that when those socks were recovered on the 13th, that there was no evidence of blood on those socks?
No evidence of blood on the 13th?
Yes, on those socks.
Sustained.
Have you reviewed the reports in this case regarding those socks?
Yes,
What reports have you reviewed?
I saw the scientific reports on them.
And have you seen the field notes that were done by Mr. Fung at your direction on the 13th?
I've seen him in the past, yes.
Would it refresh your memory to look at them again?
Yes.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
Are those the field notes you've looked at before?
Yes, I've seen these.
In reviewing that, does that refresh your memory as to whether or not any blood was observed on those socks on the 13th?
Sustain.
Your Honor, may I be heard on this, please?
Certainly.
Sock sidebar. That's exactly what it is. See how long it lasts. It's a long one.
You directed the chemist, I'm sorry, you directed the criminalist, Mr. Fung, to do certain tests for blood on the 13th, did you not?
Yes,
And many items were tested for blood, were they not?
yes,
In fact, 13 items that you had interest in were tested for blood at Rockingham, is that correct?
I don't know the exact number.
Did you ever see the socks on the 13th?
No, I
Did
did
Mr.
not.
Fung ever report to you seeing any blood on the socks on the 13th?
Sustain.
Did you order Mr. Fung to phenotest the socks on the 13th?
No, I did not.
Isn't it true that's the only item that was recovered on the 13th from the bedroom area that was not phenotested?
Overruled. If you know.
I don't know that.
Proceed.
Did you find any blood on the steps leading up to Mr. Simpson's bedroom?
No, sir.
Did you preserve that area of the house for footwear impression evidence?
No.
Nothing further.
Darden.
Detective, with regard to the rugs and the carpeting and other items that you left at Rockingham, you left those in the defendant's custody, is that right?
Yes,
Okay, and so the rug that we saw depicted in the photographs is still there?
should be.
Now, Mr. Shapiro just showed you 3 different photographs, is that right?
Yes,
And these photographs were taken during the search, is that right?
yes.
Is it common to move things when police officers are in the process of conducting a search for evidence?
Overruled.
Yes, it's common to move things. You need to move things to search.
And could that be a reasonable explanation as to why the straps are,
Absolutely.
in that case, Your Honor? Nothing further.
Thank you. On that issue, Mr. Shapiro? Right, thank you. All right, Detective Van Adder, you may step down, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Next
you.
witness. Certainly.
approach for a moment, John?
Without the report, please.
Wonder what they're waiting for. Okay, we got Lang back on the stand.
Court's permission?
All right, Detective, would you retake the witness stand, please? Good afternoon again, Detective Lang.
Afternoon, Your Honor.
Detective, you're reminded that you are still under oath, having not been released as a witness yet in this matter.
Yes.
Mr. Dart, briefly.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective Lang, you testified already, I believe, that you were shown the glove Detective Furman found on the south walkway.
Yes.
And sometime after that, on June 13, did you check any doors leading out to the south walkway?
Yes, subsequent to Detective Furman showing me the glove, I checked 2 doors on the south side of the residence. One that I believe went into the laundry room area of the residence, and a second door that appeared to go into the garage.
And when you say that you checked those doors, what do you mean by that?
I checked them to see if whether or not they were locked, and they both were locked.
And did you write any report to that effect?
No.
Thank you.
Mr. Cochran, any cross as to that item?
Yes. May I have that, I'd like to have the poster put up. There's the door.
Mr. Douglas, you can assist us here.
Good afternoon again, Detective Lang. Afternoon. Would you mind stepping down and showing us where this door into the garage is located? And you can mark that by using one of these arrows, if it's okay.
Seems to me it was right in this general area here.
Going into the garage, is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
All right, that's just your independent recollection 9 months later, is that correct?
Yes.
You have no reports to refresh your recollection, do you?
No.
All right, so that we're clear, and while you're standing here, with regard to your checking these doors, at what time of day on June 13th did this take place?
It's just subsequent to Detective Furman pointing out the glove, so it was approximately 6:25 in the morning, I believe, give or take a few minutes.
On the 13th?
Yes.
And from what I understand, you testified, these doors were locked, is that correct?
Yes.
In other words, did they have a key that would activate those doors?
I don't recall specifically, but I believe the knobs were smooth, so there wouldn't be anything in there. And I believe that they may have been a deadbolt lock, but I'm not certain.
Did you ever, you may resume your seat. Did you ever go around to the other side of the garage, inside the garage, and see whether or not you could unlock that door from the inside?
The garage door, no, I didn't.
Did you ever go inside the residence on that morning and see whether or not you could open the door into the side, the second door, and come outside?
I did check that door in the laundry room, and again, I believe there was an inside deadbolt lock, but I'm not certain.
Do you have any photographs of how
Good
that
morning,
existed, how it appeared
stranger.
at that time?
I don't know if there are any photographs that were taken of that area. I didn't direct any.
And you've not seen any, have you?
There may not be.
All right. So your best recollection is presently that there are 2 doors on the south side.
In summary, we can't see Cato yet because of these stupid questions.
Of the residence, which you saw that morning, correct?
Yes,
You could not gain entry into those doors. Is that correct?
that's correct.
As we sit here now, you can't tell us whether or not a key might have activated either one of those two doors. Is that correct?
Again, my recollection is that the knobs were smooth faced, but I believe there was a deadbolt and at least the utility room door. So it's possible that a key could have activated that door, yes.
The second door, the one into the washing room there, the laundry room.
Yes, but again, I'm not certain.
All right. So you're not clear on that. Is that correct?
No.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. Darden? Certainly.
Detective Lang, I'd like to show you a photograph and see if this will refresh your recollection regarding the.
You may.
For the record, this is photograph 148. He's looking at photographs 146 and 147 as well, Your Honor. These are
No.
photograph numbers and not evidence item numbers.
Yes, it appears to be the inside of the Rockingham garage, and there is the door pictured there, but I do not recall physically checking it,
Physically checking what?
the door.
Did you go inside the garage? Did
Yes,
you see anything in front of the side garage door?
Or
there was quite a bit of items stacked in there, yes.
The same items depicted in photograph 148?
it's the same. Rephrase the question, please.
The items that you just described, do you see those those items depicted in any of the three photographs I just showed you to refresh your recollection?
There are several items there, and that is my recollection. As to the specific items, I don't recall, but I do recall it being similar to that photograph at that date, yes.
May I mark photograph number 148, People's next in order?
128.
And may I place that photograph on the Elmo?
You may. It's his. That's true. That's true. Client needs to see it. Just so, ladies and gentlemen of the jury know, it's just a common courtesy to show the exhibits to opposing counsel before you show it to the witness of the jury, so everybody knows what we're talking about.
Question regarding David's photograph. Let me approach on the record for a moment.
You want to take the witness on board diarist of that photograph?
Yes, I'd like to.
Proceed.
Thank you very kindly. Detective Lang, the three photographs which have been shown to you who are numbered DA photo numbers 146, 147, and 148. Can you tell us what date those photographs were taken on?
No, I can't.
And
Seems to me there were photographs taken on the 13th of the entire house.
I missed that last answer. I'm sorry.
Seems to me there were photographs taken on the 13th of June. I don't believe there's a date on that, though.
Do you know whether or not these particular photographs were taken on June 13th?
No, looking at those, I don't. I would have to look into that further.
If I were to tell you these photographs were taken in July, would that refresh your recollection?
It's possible.
And do you know whether or not Mr. Simpson's son, Jason, seated in the front row there, had moved into the residence by that time and moved things into the garage by July of 1994?
Mr. Chairman, I allowed you to take him on board as the foundation for the photographs,
Well,
since it's not established at this point.
Well, I think this goes to foundational questions, Your Honor, with regard to whether it's in the same condition it was on June 13th. That's the question.
Well, I think we're going beyond what I need to know.
Okay. Very well.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to lodge an objection, Your Honor, to the photographs at this point regarding foundation.
Noted. Mr. Darden?
Can we display the photograph to the jury, Your Honor?
I've got a foundational problem at this point.
The witnesses testify. Would you like me to argue the issue from here? Let me ask another question.
Please.
Okay. Is this the way you remember the garage on June 13, Detective?
Sustained. Rephrase the question. I think we've already got that question and answer, though.
Yeah. Okay, so
Well, there was no objection. All right. I think you need more foundation.
were photographs taken on June 13, Detective?
Yes,
Did you go inside the garage?
yes.
And did you have some recall as to the items you saw in front of the side garage door?
Overruled.
I do recall items in front of the door. Again, as to the specific items, I do not have an independent recollection.
Okay. Do these appear to be the same items?
Overruled.
It's very possible.
And having looked at these photographs, do they refresh your recollection as to which items you saw in front of the side garage door?
I do recall various items. They do look familiar, but again, I don't have that specific recollection. Front of the door.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else? All right, Detective Lang, you may step down. However, you are still subject to recall.
Thank you.
All right, next witness. Ms. Clark.
Yes, Your Honor. You can call Mr. Cato, Brian Cato.
All right, is he available?
On board to defense before Mr. Cato.
A board?
Pardon?
I'm sorry,
Boards,
boards.
plural.
All right, let me ask the jurors then to step back into the jury room briefly. It should be only about 5 minutes just to look at some of the exhibits, and then we'll start with the witness. Ms. Clark.
Yes, Your Honor. People call Mr. Kalin.
Raise your right hand, please. You do solemnly swear that the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Please have a seat on the witness stand and state and spell your first and last names for the record.
Mr. Galen, why don't you pull the microphone close to you there? Thank you. Ms. Clark. I'm sorry, forgot to ask him to state and spell his name.
Brian Cato Kalin, Brian Kato Kaeelin.
Ms. Clark.
Mr. Kalin, is Cato your middle name?
A nickname.
Is that what people call you instead of Brian?
Yes.
You a little bit nervous today?
Feel great. Little nervous.
All right, Mr. Kalen, did you know someone by the name of Nicole Brown Simpson?
He's like a little puppy dog, isn't he? Like a tiny little puppy.
Back in 1992.
Yes.
Can you tell us, please, how you met her?
In Aspen, Colorado.
And what was the event?
It was like a Christmas break, and I went with a buddy, and we met
And what month was that, if you recall?
December.
Who was the buddy you were with that when you met Nicole Brown?
Grant Kramer.
Did you get involved in some kind of romantic relationship with her?
Did I?
Did you?
No.
Did you become friends?
Yes.
Did you have occasion to see her again after you met her in December of 1992 in Aspen?
Yes, I saw her again in Aspen.
In Aspen?
Oh, throughout the trip, yes. And then after that, also.
Well, how long was that trip in Aspen in December of 92?
I think 7 days. About it's like a week.
And did you all spend that whole week together?
I don't know who's questioning him. Oh gosh. I don't know if I want it to be Cochran. It's probably going to be Cochran. I don't want them to beat him up. I don't want them to do that to him. He looks like it's very, very easy to confuse him.
Off and on, yes.
And that, when I say you all, who was all of you together?
Quite a few people, but basically it was myself,
John from the defense
Grant
team.
Kramer, Faye Resnick was there, and Nicole, and other people the names I can't think of them right now, but other people.
Now, at that time, sir, was Nicole Brown already divorced? You can answer.
Oh, I believe so, yes.
After seeing her and meeting her in Aspen in December of 1992, after that trip, when was the next time you saw Nicole Brown?
I saw her pretty much in January at her house that was on Gretna Green.
January of 93, is that?
Yes,
And is that in Brentwood, that house on Gretna Green?
yes.
And what could cause you to go to her house in Brentwood?
There was a party, and I was invited to go.
When you saw her at that party, I take it.
Yes.
And can you describe for us the layout of that house on Gretna Green?
Okay. Want me to start from the driveway?
Actually, no, we don't have to be that specific. Was there a main house?
Okay. You walk into a kind of foyer. There would be like a den, the living room to the right, kitchen, and other rooms, and upstairs.
All right. And you have a front door to that house, do you?
Yes.
Does it face the street?
Yes.
Is there a picture window that faces the street on that house?
Yes.
And that picture window looks into what room?
The living room.
Is there a rear entry into the house?
It's a side and a rear. Two rear that would go to the kitchen, and one goes to a den, and one goes to another bedroom. In the back.
In the back?
Right.
So are there three entrances besides the front door, are there three other entrances to the house?
4.
4.
There's a side door in the front that goes to the kitchen.
Okay.
You walk the back, then you have the back doors to the kitchen, then you have back double doors to the den, and then there's another bedroom that has double doors also.
Okay. What kind of doors are those?
Like French doors? They're double doors?
All of the ones in the back there,
No. Oh, yes.
are they?
Except the one in the front kitchen. It's a single door.
Okay. You mean the side door to the kitchen?
Side
That's a
door.
single door? Is that yes?
Yes, that's yes.
And then do you have the double doors that you referred to in the back that lead into the kitchen, the den, and a bedroom. Are those all French doors?
Yes.
And now, is there any yard area, the property that belongs to the house that's located behind the house?
A pool, a small yard, and there's a guest house.
Now, when you went to the property, when you went to that Gretna greenhouse, to the party given by Nicole Brown, did you notice that guest house in the rear of the property?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us whether you had a discussion with her about that guest house in the rear?
I did.
What was the nature of it, of your discussion?
I said, Nicole, who lives back there? And she said, no one. And then I said,
Here's why I think. Here's why I think he didn't help. Here's why I think he didn't help. So he met Nicole. He became friends with Nicole. Nicole let him live with her. And then, you know, they go their separate way. Nicole's married and everything. And then they move. Nicole and OJ move. And then they get divorced. And Nicole moves away. Cato needs a place to stay again. He's about to move in with Nicole. And OJ finds out. And OJ's like, hell no, he's not moving in with you. And OJ let him stay for free at OJ's house in Cato's room so that Cato could not stay with Nicole. So I think Cato and Nicole, were really good friends. So he wouldn't, and OJ and Cato were not really good friends. He's just staying with OJ so that OJ can watch him not be near Nicole. So I don't think he helped.
could I? And she says, well, if you do, you have to clean it out. And I said, great.
Was
And
it not clean at that time?
there was furniture in there, treadmill, and a few other things. And that was it.
So did you make some agreement with her concerning paying rent, living there?
Yes.
What was your agreement?
It'd be $450 to $500 for rent, and then take care of the kids. Nicole would take things off, and that was it. And
When you say take things off, if you took care of the children, would your rent be reduced?
yes,
And your agreement was to pay her how much per month?
it was between $450 to $500.
Depending on how much you took care of the children?
Yes.
And by the children, who are we referring to?
Sydney and Justin.
And who lived in the main house at Gretna Green?
Nicole and Sydney and Justin.
That's it?
Yes.
So when did you move into the Gretna Green house?
It was January, kind of the middle of January, I think. Pretty right around there.
Of 1993?
Of 93.
Now, during that time, did you have occasion to meet Mr. Simpson?
Not in January. I think it was in February. I don't know the exact date.
Sometime in February of 1993?
Yes.
And when I say Mr. Simpson, is that someone you see in court today, sir?
Yes, OJ.
Point them out, please.
There. So,
Thank you. Okay, and how was it you met him? What was the occasion?
oh, he came by
To the house on Gretna Green?
to the house on Gretna Green.
How long did you live at that house on Gretna Green?
Until January of 94, the beginning of January. Right then I left.
Can you tell us exactly what it was that happened to cause you to move out in January of 1994?
Okay, what happened was I was going to move to Bundy with Nicole. And
Okay, let me ask you
Okay.
another question, sir. I'm sorry. Did Nicole Brown decide to move out of Gretna Green in 1994?
Yes.
And did she find another location to live in?
Yes.
And where was that?
On Bundy,
Do you recall the address?
I think 875.
Did you see the location?
Yes.
Have a moment, John. Tell us, sir, whether that was a house, a freestanding house, or a townhouse, or a duplex. Do you remember?
It was a townhouse,
And was it a single unit or multiple units?
multiple units.
How many?
I think 4. I don't know the number.
Did you actually see the location?
Yes,
And how was it that you came to see that location?
because I was going to move there.
So you went to see where you'd live?
Yes.
Now, where would you have stayed in the Bundy location?
Okay, there's a room that goes kind of its own side entrance. It goes down, and there's a room that's off to the side. That's kind of, it's in the house, but it's to the side.
Is it on the lowest level?
Yes.
And does it have a window that faces a walkway?
There's a walkway, so I don't remember a window, but there probably was.
If you were to walk in through the garage area, would you have to go downstairs to go to the area where you were going to live?
I don't remember, but I know it had its own entrance. That was part of it, that it had an entrance. And I don't remember the layout that well.
Okay, the area then where you were going to live on the lowest level of the house, did it have its own bathroom?
Yes.
So, and what else did it have that would be private just for you?
Closets, bedroom, bathroom.
That was it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Now, was that location inside the house itself?
Yes,
This was not a separate guest unit like it was at Gretna Green?
exactly.
And were you planning to pay her rent there?
Yeah, yes.
I'm going to show you a photograph, sir, and ask you if you recognize the building.
All right, Ms. Clark, do we need to, is there any dispute that we're talking about 875 South Monday?
No, I just want to make sure that the witness knows it too. I want to see if he can recognize it.
All right.
Have I
Proceed.
shown you any photographs? Sir?
No.
Proceed.
One, please. Your Honor, in the interest of time, we would stipulate that he knows the location. This is the location.
Ms. Clark, any dispute about this?
I'd like to make sure that we're
All right.
talking. I haven't shown this witness any
Okay,
photographs.
Okay, okay.
Your Honor, I believe we're going to need to check some cabling systems. We're not getting any signal to the.
All right, Ms. Clark, why don't you just physically show Mr. Kayla
Photograph.
the photograph? Thank you.
Show you this photograph that's been previously marked as People's 86.
Yes.
Okay, do you recognize what's shown there?
The townhouse on Bundy?
Okay, is that the townhouse that you were describing that you were going to move into with Nicole?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, did you ever move into that townhouse, sir?
No.
Why not?
I was going to move in, and I moved in at OJ's
Why not? Why'd you do that?
because OJ asked me to go to his house. I mean, it was part of the deal. I went there instead of moved in with Nicole. There's,
What did the defendant say to you about moving into his house instead of Nicole's condominium or townhouse?
I mean, we talked about it, and it was sort of like the right thing to do. That not to be in the same house. That I should probably go there. And OJ offered me his place. It was free, and he said when you can stay as long as you want, and when it's time for you to go, he let me know.
Now, so did he indicate anything to you with respect to what he thought of the fact that you'd be living in the same house with Nicole Brown?
Well, they were trying to work things out, and I said that I understood. It wasn't. I thought maybe I shouldn't be a guy in the house, and I would go there, kind of like that.
Did he indicate to you in some way that he thought it was inappropriate for you to be in the same house with her, or he didn't like it?
Well, not didn't like, but it probably wouldn't be right.
And why wouldn't it be right?
I don't know the answer.
Were you lovers?
No,
Just friends?
friends.
Did you tell the defendant that?
Oh, he knew we were friends.
But he still didn't want you living in that house.
I guess. I mean, I didn't, and I guess not.
Okay. And so he offered to let you stay at his house on Rockingham, is that?
Yes.
Do you recall the address on Rockingham where he lived?
360 North Rockingham.
Hmm. And what was your arrangement with the defendant concerning what kind of rent you'd be paying him to stay at his place on Rockingham?
I offered rent, and OJ said he didn't want my money, and that was it.
So he let you stay there for free?
Yes.
And did you then move into his house on Rockingham?
I did. It was kind of like that same day. I was kind of like, oh, where do I go? And then I went there.
And so did you pack up and move all of your things into some area in Rockingham?
What was that?
Did you pack up and move all of your things over to Rockingham?
Yes.
Where on Rockingham did you stay? What part of the property?
It was a guest house by the pool.
And what did you have? Your area where you lived, what was yours? What part of that house was yours?
Oh, I had the guest house
Mm-hmm.
that had like an office area and a bathroom, and there's like a little like stove and all that I didn't use, but there was a kitchen area by the tennis courts.
So you actually, at the Bundy location, you would have had just a bedroom and a bathroom, is that right?
Yes.
And at the Rockingham location, and you were going to pay rent there at the Bundy location, is
Yes.
that right?
Yes.
How much were you going to pay Nicole to stay at the Bundy location with her?
It's the same.
$450 to $500? Is that yes?
Yes.
And you went to stay with the defendant at Rockingham, and you had your bedroom, the office, the bathroom, and access to a kitchen out at the pool house for free.
Yes.
When did you move in there on Rockingham?
January
Of 94?
of '94.
Now, were you an aspiring actor back then, sir?
Yes.
And you still are?
Yes.
Did you think it might be advantageous to you to stay with the defendant and get to know him for your acting career?
I didn't think that. I never asked for anything like that. I was getting rent free, so we didn't ask anything.
Did you
About
think that your friendship with him, your acquaintanceship, especially living on his property, might send acting roles your way?
I didn't think that. I never asked. I was hopefully getting things on my own. But
So
you know, if he'd bring it up on his own. I don't think we're going for the same parts. I don't.
What I'm getting at, sir, is this. You hoped it might help, but you weren't going to ask him for help. Is that right?
He could have helped me. I mean, if it happened, he was someone that could help me. Yes.
Now I have here council asked that if you mark people's
129.
I'm sorry?
129.
29.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor, we ask you to step down, take a look at the board, bring your pointer with you. Bring your pointer with you. Have I ever shown you this, sir? Have you ever saw this penis board before?
No.
All right, why don't you take a moment to look at it, acquaint yourself with it, ask a few questions.
Okay. Stand here.
First of all, can you tell us, in general, what property does this board depict?
This is the Rockingham, 360 Rockingham.
All right. And can you tell us, down here, there's a box that's encircled in red, marked Kalen's room. Do you recognize the location shown there?
Yes.
And was that the location where you were staying at 360 Rockingham?
Yes, it is.
Now, there are two photographs that have arrows to that box. See these photographs,
Yes.
sir? And for the record, I apologize to the report, I should have labeled, but the photograph to the left as you face the diagram should be A, and the photograph to the right should be B.
All right. We'll mark that afterwards.
And I'll put them on. All right. In photograph A, can you tell us what's shown in that photograph?
In A,
Yes.
this is the front entrance to the room.
Those doors?
These doors. This would be how I'd get in. My bed. So, this is the office. This is a dresser. TV.
Now, for the record, when the witness said office, he gestured to the room just past the bed. When he indicated the front entrance, he indicated shuttered doors that are still on the photograph. And I think the rest is self-explanatory.
Yes.
If you open these shuttered doors and walk straight out, so can you tell us what you go to, what area?
Okay, there's cement here, 3 steps big 3 that lead up, and you'd walk straight up, you kind of hit the pool. And left is the main house, and right would be the other guest houses.
And with respect to photograph B, sir, can you tell us what's shown in that photograph?
This shot was taken like from the office spot area. The bathroom, air conditioner, a bed, same bed, and this is like where the phone is and
Nightstand?
nightstand.
All right. Is there anything on the wall above that nightstand?
Above the nightstand,
Right. Was there when you were living there?
yeah, a picture. It was right about here. It would have been.
For the record, when the witness says right about here, he's referring to an area just outside to the right of the photograph, just outside the boundary of the photograph on the yellow portion of the diagram. And when he indicated bathroom, he gestured to the room in the photograph depicted past the bed again, where there's a white cabinet and a mirror visible.
Okay, we saw inside Kato's bedroom. That's good for today. Guys, thank you so much for coming out. I really, really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you again soon. Bye.